Welcome back. I'm going to check out 3 upgrades slash mods you can do to your Leatherman Surge. 2 of these you've already seen before and I have new information on them. All of them are by BackCountryCAD, who's sponsored videos in the past, but this time I bought these myself. So revisiting the Leatherman Hammer mod, I found that after a lot of use, first of all, this still looks great, but it has a little bit of play now to it that it didn't have originally. This is because he uses a 3D printed insert part. You can see right in there, that's a little insert 3D printed part. And you can see that it's a little warped now because I've been using this a lot and the 3D internal part has been getting squished. Now, this 3D printed part likely serves the function of reducing the force on the pivot bolt on the Leatherman Surge. So I understand its necessity and I think that's great. I just wish he made that 3D printed part available for us to print and change out when these start getting a little loose. But it is still my most favorite upgrade I've ever seen for the Leatherman. This is still an incredible mod. Next up is the utility knife mod. And this is his current version. It still has a little bit of wobble like the first version did. I can show you the first version. The first version had an issue where the one he sent me had to cut that off because that internal little pocket there wasn't good enough. This one is sized just right now. This inserts no problem. The screw now is different than the original one. The original one was a bit more squared top. This one's a bit more rounded. However, this is a T10 screw, which is the same as these. This one was not a T10. So I like the attention to detail to make sure that if you're going to be disassembling this at all, you don't need another bit. A T10, as you can see here, a T10 is the same as that, and it's the same as that. Another thing that he corrected is on the first version, you can see here, it didn't go all the way up there, and as a result, when inserted, this would cause a problem. You can see when this is closed, it extends out quite a bit, and that lip right there, that sharp little corner, used to be right there. Now there is protection to it, so that's really cool. The one issue it still has is you can see on the one that I removed that I was using, you can see that little tiny part right there that's kind of shinier, and it stops right there. That is where this little bit right there locks in to most other blades. You can see here on this one blade, you can see it right in there, so that when it's closed, it takes a little bit of force to get that out. He still hasn't put one of those on here, so as a result, you can see here when it's closed, it can still be open relatively easy because there isn't that little tiny indent right there to help prevent it. And that's a safety issue that hopefully he will get to within the next batch. But it is incredible to see how quickly he's adopted these. Now, I doubt I'll keep this on my Surge, as for me, the amount that it sticks out is just a little bit too much. You can see on this custom knife I have here, it does still stick out, and you know the regular knife blades that come with it do stick out a little bit anyways, but this is just a little bit more, so my preference is that I probably won't use it, but it is an incredible mod. Banana for Scale, please subscribe. Guess what? I wrote a children's book called Who Says Pooh? It's a funny read-aloud children's book about words in different languages that sound phonetically like the English word poo. Link is in the description. Now back to the video. And there's one more mod here, which is a 1/4 inch bit adapter. I think this is a great little mod. When it is put away, you can see there's a little thumbnail catch to pull it out. It locks just fine. There is a bit of wobble back to back when it's locked in. Maybe that's just mine. And you can see that the bit itself has a little bit of wobble, mostly side to side, a little bit up and down. You can put, power bits in there and you can really see the amount of wobble that this has. Some people might find this to be a problem. Keep in mind, this is a power bit, so that ball detent is going to create more of a wobble. I don't see it to be a problem. The magnet is okay with this. It holds bits with a magnet, and you can see the way it goes in is that there's no sides to it. For what you would need this for, I don't see this being an issue. I think that he made a great 1/4" bit driver here. It does send the magnetism through the bit, which is nice. You can see here that it's relatively strong, and you can hold up another little piece there. All in all, it's not a terrible magnet. I just wish it was a little bit stronger for my liking, but it is way, way better than the original Leatherman bit driver. For something like this, where it's not your dedicated driver, I think this is great. I think he's done a great job. And if he solves just this little wobble area here, I think this will be A+. But as it stands, it's an A. I am constantly so impressed by BackCountryCAD, and he's doing awesome things and definitely worth checking out on Etsy. Um, I really think people like him need to be contracted by Leatherman or hired by Leatherman to actually make their tools innovative again, because they just haven't been innovating, and it's left a hole for these people who are frankly making Leatherman look silly. Like, people like BackCountryCAD should be the ones innovating at Leatherman, because as it is, I think the company Leatherman is slowly going away. They're just not innovating the way a lot of these Chinese manufacturers are. And that really sucks, because I love my Leatherman Surge. And if you like this video and want more details on this Leatherman hammer mod, check out this video here. Thanks for watching.